Unity, love, abundance, prosperity, and all things divine. I hope all is well. Happy moon cycle. I hope everyone has been gaining a lot more awareness of their emotional body, because right now there's a lot of things that are coming up from beneath the surface to the surface, so you can sit within that energy, gain awareness, know how you need to move and navigate through the turbulent waters, so that way you can experience the healing that you need, so you can release it and let it go. Now I had pulled the moon card in the upright position. Now the moon card in the upright position deals with illusions, it deals with anxiety, it deals with fears, it deals with the subconscious mind, and it also deals with intuition. Now, how is this energy playing out in your day-to-day reality? Well, for one, the fears that you have behind your emotional body, because that could very well be due to situations that played out in the past, or situations that have played out presently, or the most recent past, that has been picking and poking at the things that you haven't resolved from the past, and it's coming back up now, and it's showing face in the things that you are dealing with now, because it's getting you to see what it is that you still holding on to, and how you can go about releasing it through awareness, after you obtain the awareness, after you attain the knowledge and the wisdom behind the reason why these things played out in the first place. This is all a learning experience. When it comes with you tapping deeper within your subconscious mind, you can pick and poke at the things, especially with it being in Scorpio. It's gonna pick and poke at the things that are beneath the surface, so it can come up, so that way you can see it for what it is. You can recognize the role in which you played in it, the role that others played in it, and how you can implement things to help you move forward. This can very well be with situations in regard parent figures like your mom or your dad. There may be some things that played out in your past is coming up right now, and it's kind of hard for you to deal with it, because you've been putting it off for so long, and these thoughts come here and there, or it may have been coming more frequently, but you've been ignoring it because a lot of other things that are outside of yourself has been clouding you from being able to sit still within that energy, which then will cause it to become turbulent. Right now, there are two planetary bodies that are sitting within the sign of Pisces. You have Saturn and you have Neptune. With those two energies, especially in retrograde, because they both retrograde right now in that sign. Oh, you're going to feel this energy so intensely. That's the reason why you've been seeing it play out on the, like, with the news and all this stuff. They've been doing this fear mongering, and people been investing their emotions to this stuff, and it's been getting people, like feeding people into the chaos that is going on outside of them, but it's showing you what is going on within you, what you need to change and you need to bring healing to. It's not the easiest thing in the world to navigate through. At the same time, it's something that you have to do. Saturn is like, look, I know you don't want to deal with this, but you have no choice. You have to deal with this now. If not, you're going to feel it more and more and more. Saturn is going to be sitting in the sign of Pisces until I think February or March of next year. So Saturn is going to be sitting there for quite some time. He just went back retrograde. Neptune also went retrograde in the sign of Pisces, and Neptune is actually the original ruler of Pisces. So, with Pisces being at home in Neptune, oh yeah, the illusions and all of these different things, oh that is definitely gonna be done a lot more frequently, and you're gonna feel it a lot more intensely. That's why this whole gender thing is going on right now between men and women, is because all of these illusions that keep playing out in front of them, and people are investing their energy into it when they should be investing their energy back into themselves. The more and more you gain awareness of yourself, the more that you can take what you learn internally with the teachings, the knowledge, and the wisdom that you attain, and it can reflect outwardly. So that way you won't keep on putting your energy into all of these things that are distracting you from being able to turn back into you. Yes, this energy is very intense. Yes, this energy is going to be prevalent for a little time. And yes, it can be very daunting. But when you go through it, you experience the healing on the other side of it. And that's the most beautiful and amazing part about dealing with your emotions head on instead of you letting it sit beneath the surface. I'm gonna give y'all an example. Now, remember when I did a video in the past and I was talking about having a conversation. Now, this dealt with my brothers. Now, there was things that happened in the past with my brothers that I at that time did not fully express myself or let them know how I truly felt. So a few months ago, and this had to been back in maybe I would say like April or May or sometime like that, or it could have been, further than that. But I had a conversation with these brothers. Conversations were long overdue. But I was like, you know what? I'm actually going to have these conversations. I even talked to my divine partner before I did it. And she told me, she was like, are you truly wanting to do that? And I was like, yeah. And she was like, are you sure? Are you sure you want to do that? And I'm like, yes, because I need clarity. Okay, and I want this energy to phase out of my life. So the first brother I talked to, everything went perfectly fine with the conversation him and I had. There were some things that I said that I very well could have came from a higher standpoint from, but I was able to express myself and I felt good right after it. So that conversation with the first brother I talked to, it went really well. Now with the second brother, it went well starting off, but as the conversation was coming to a close, oh, there was a battle between egos, and I invested my energy into what he was, what he was pretty much returning to me. That right there, I was like, you know what? I sat back and I thought about it. I was like, I don't know why I did that. But at the same time, it felt so good to be able to get that energy out. I'm not justifying my actions, but I'm justifying the fact that I was able to express myself because for so long that energy has been sitting and pent up within me. And I finally was like, you know what? I'm ready to talk about it now. Whether they are ready or not, I'm ready. I'm ready to talk about it. And of course, when I first came, I came from a very like calm place. It wasn't until the second the second conversation I had um with the other brother that's when I was like, it started to become a clash, just like I mentioned. Now, after that conversation, it led to him pretty much hanging up on me. And I was like, you know what? I was mad and I calmed myself down. My lady talked to me and I was good after that. So then the next day I talked to my eldest brother. Now with him, I came with a different approach because I'm like, all right, this is what happened with the last conversation that I had with one of my other brothers. So I'm gonna bring a different approach. So I came from a more calm, collective standpoint. But then that took a turn as well. So much so to the point where like it I got mad after the fact because I got hung up on. And I felt like that was a slap in the face. I expressed myself, but I felt like it wasn't truly heard. And now with some of these people, and when it come down to you bringing these things back up, some of these people are not going to feel good about it. And you have to give them grace because a lot of people ain't ready sometimes to sit and talk about these things. And some people truly don't even care, to be honest. They want you to forget about it like it never happened. And these things happen. So when you bring these things back up, and some people like, you know what, the past is the past, you gotta let that go. And sometimes people cannot let that go because it all depends on how much it's been sitting within you for so long. These things have to be talked about. On both sides of it, each party can become venerated from this. They can move forward knowing that they gained clarity, they talked about it, and everything is good. The energy fizzles out. Now, it didn't happen that way, like I mentioned, with all of my brothers. However, one, it happened with one, and I was happy about that. Even though I know with the other two, in my mind, I'm like, okay, I think these can go pretty good too, because the first one did, and I was wrong. And that was the illusion that I had that, okay, maybe this can go the same way. And the fact that it didn't go the same way, I was frustrated a little bit. I was frustrated that day. And my lady calmed me down, and I'm thankful and grateful for her because she sat me down, we talked about it, and she allowed me to express myself, but she also gave me knowledge and wisdom as well. And she also mentioned to me, she's like, well, I did mention this to you, that are you sure you wanting to do this? And the reason why is because she was getting me to sit and think before I moved on it. And had I would have sat and thought a little bit more, and I think the approach would have been different, and I could have even spread those things out as well. I should have been guided more by my higher mind and the wisdom and knowledge that's being given to me from my lady, because she was peering into me from my higher mind as well. So she was an outward, in that moment, an outward representation of my higher mind, and sitting me down to truly think about, is this something that you truly want to do right now? So with that example, that's was part of my experience. And I know everybody else's experience will be different. When these things come up, it's not going to be pretty all the time. And don't expect it to be pretty. And don't expect it for things to go your way. It's going to go however way it's going to go. For as long as you learn from these different experiences, you gain clarity. Does it give you closure? It could. But it may not. Because it all depends on the outcome of these situations. But the fact that you put the fact that you put awareness to it is a start. So you know what you can build off of and move forward, and you can set clear boundaries so that way these things don't happen and play out again. Now I can go a little bit deeper into that, and I would do that in another video. So again, gain awareness of these things, and whatever comes to the surface, allow it to show you what it is that you need to experience, so that a way you can release that energy, and that energy can move a lot more smoothly, so it won't be so turbulent. When you sit within the depths of your feelings, sometimes you can get lost in it. For as long as you ain't pull yourself back down, because that's what Saturn does. With Pisces energy, it can float off into the stars. So much so to the point where you're going to have to pull it back down. And this is what Saturn is doing, but while sitting in his energy. It's teaching Pisces, like, you know what? You have all of these great different things, ideas, and things that you want to do. But I want you to structure it more. I want you to gain more awareness. I want you to sit with yourself. I want you to meditate. I want you to honor how you feel. I want you to think about what you're going to do before you do it, or think about what you say before you say it. And with Neptune, it's sitting you down as well, because it's like, hey, look, listen, I know these things come up. There are illusions out here. There's a lot of different illusions and a lot of different distractions that's going on out here. But weed through that. Weed through the illusions and distractions, so that a way you can choose the things that best fit you and your situation, and make the right choices moving forward. I love y'all. I'm thankful and grateful for y'all. Have an amazing, beautiful, abundant, and prosperous rest of y'all moon cycle.